Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another 90 Day Fiance review, y'all. Okay, so let's just jump right in. The episode started off with Michael and Angela. Angela is heading to Nigeria so that she can find out what's going on with Michael and his visa. She is going to get to the bottom of what happened with this visa, okay? But at the same time, it's very emotional. Michael is emotional, feeling some type of way. And Angela is hell-bent on making it seem as if Michael not having his mom there when he gets married isn't as much of a big deal as her mom not being there for them to get married. I'm like, girl, how many times have you been married? This will probably be Michael's first marriage, which means it's more important for his mom to be there. How many men has your mom seen you go through? Like, I'm just kind of like, whatever, Angela, because she's just so ignorant to me, because it's like, no, I'm not getting married in Nigeria because I want my family to believe that they deserve to be there to see me get married. Girl, they don't even like Michael. They don't care. You just want to get married in America. I don't know why, but there seems to be some, like, I don't know, some distaste, some looking down on Nigeria. And that kind of annoys me, because then you're so bucked up to go and get in the bed and put out all the sex toys and nasty underwear for your sexy Nigerian man and all of this. Fetishizing, like I told y'all. Okay. In the car, when they're leaving the airport, he brought her cake, of course. She's so excited. A long hello, kissing and hugging and emotion and all of that. Wham, wham, wham. And they get in the car. She wants him to take her step by step. What happened when he walked into the building to talk to the visa people? What happened after that? I went through security. And then we walk around the corner. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me a fucking break here. Can we get to the meat? Ultimately, he failed to tell them that there was an engagement party. They were asking, why haven't y'all gotten married here in Nigeria? And he couldn't really give a reason for that. So now she's upset because he didn't mention that his mother threw the engagement party. Therefore, his family gives him the backing to marry Angela. She thinks that matters. Ultimately, what those people are trying to make you understand is, if you won't marry him in Nigeria, then you're probably not really trying to marry him. That's what they think. So I don't even really think it would matter if they knew that, you know, Michael's mom threw them an engagement party. They knew y'all were engaged. That's on the paperwork. Michael kept saying they know that already. They know that already because we're engaged. Why do we have to tell them we had an engagement party? That is not a marriage, Angela. But child, she got upset about that. They have some Mr. Nasty time, or in this case, Mrs. Nasty time. And then they go to dinner, and she has to be all grossed out by the head being a part of the fish dinner that they're eating, as if nobody ever left the head on the fish in America. Child, I don't have time for her. Michael tells her at dinner that his lawyer told him it would probably be easier for them to get him to America if they got married in Nigeria and did the marriage it will probably be better if they did the spousal visa instead of the K1 visa. Angela doesn't want to hear this. That's the Nigerian lawyer. So obviously they don't know what they're talking about, or they're just trying to get us to get married here as if they care or really want Angela to be a citizen of Nigeria. I'm sure they don't care. I'm sure they don't even want you, bitch. I'm sure they'll send you back if they had a choice. But what they're saying is, if y'all can already prove marriage, bringing your spouse over here is not the same thing as you trying to bring somebody over here to marry and be on American dime and all that. I think the whole process is different. Angela's been told that the process will take longer if it's a spousal visa by her lawyer, even though Michael's lawyer has said something different. So there's an argument about that, okay? She doesn't want to listen to his lawyer. He feels like she's not listening to the easiest way to do this. He thinks he knows best. She's like, just let me handle this, Michael, okay? Your ego. It's always about your ego. I said, bitch, if anybody's ego is wrapped up in this situation, it's Angela's, not Michael's. She works on my nerves. I just can't. So right now she wants to send in some letter because she doesn't want to give up on getting married in America because her family has a right to see her get married. I said, oh, okay. I guess. Y'all, Mike and Natalie, let's call it quits. Let's let it go. It's over. Y'all are not going to be together. I just don't see it. Okay? Either way, he's about to leave, and Natalie still doesn't seem to be talking to Mike, even though she says that she's in a good place with him. I said, girl, what are you talking about? How are y'all in a good place right now? Like, she keeps trying to say that, they just work on the relationship, then everything will work out. But she can't say she loves him, even though she's told him she loved him before. At this moment, during the confessional, she can't say she loves him. She feels like they still need to work on the relationship. And I feel like what's really going on here is that he has not conceded to you wanting to Christianize him, so you wanting to convert him. He's not okay with it. He's not doing it. He's not changing how he feels. And you're upset about it and having a damn temper tantrum and thinking that withholding love and affection from him is going to make him change his mind, when ultimately he's about to get on his plane and come back home, and that'll just be that. She's childish and she's not getting her way. And her response is to not really talk, to act as if she doesn't know what he's upset about, to act as if he's overreacting. She's exhausting without her even saying anything. Her and those crazy ass eyes are exhausting. Okay. To him, it feels as if she doesn't even care that he's leaving. Like, that's how it feels to him. She says it would be a lie. It would be a lie to say I love him right now. It's like, just because you're upset at someone does not mean you don't love them. But I do understand when you're upset, not wanting to say I love you. I understand that feeling. But here's my issue. Are you upset or not? Because you just said that you're fine. But then you can't tell him you love him because you're obviously upset. Like, make up your mind. Make up your mind. Free your mind and your ass will follow, Natalie. Jeez. Honestly, I don't feel like Natalie and Mike need to be together because this religion thing is just way too big. To me, it's way too big to want to be with someone and actually have a family with someone that can't accept you for who you are in the relationship. You've never been a Christian. That's never been your angle. And the fact that now it's a big deal to her, I'm just exhausted. I think they need to just let it go. Y'all are not meant for each other. Y'all have basically wasted 2 years of y'all lives. Chuck it up to a rebound and find somebody that you are equally yoked with. Sometimes people who are not equally yoked as far as religion can be together. This is not one of those situations. Cut it out. Y'all, when she took that ring off and threw it in a suitcase and then the confessional was like, I thought that would give him an opportunity to put the ring back on my finger. Girl, just stop. I don't know who you think you're talking to. Stop. I feel like in the confessional, she doesn't want to look as wrong as she looks. So she tries to come up with these ulterior motives for why she did what she did. But initially, you were pissed and you threw that ring in the suitcase because you were over him and you were trying to hurt him and show him that you didn't care. That's what you were trying to do. Stop it. Like trying to front on us and tell us something different in the confessional. Girl, bye. He goes and says goodbye to her mom and it's this long hug. And the mom is so sweet, but she's also exhausting because, what happened? What's going on? What happened? What's going on? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, yeah, but do y'all even understand each other at all right now? Like, I don't think so. I don't think there's an understanding of what's happening at all. But we appreciate the affection because he was having a hard moment just then. And I probably guess he was crying and she was comforting him. And her, daughter is as cold as ice over there. So he probably needed the hug. When he goes to say goodbye to her, he's like, look, I'm about to leave. Can I at least get a hug, something? And she's like, I want you to apologize to me for overreacting. And he says, no, I'm not apologizing to you. So then he just leaves. I said, girl, you wanted an apology from him for what? For what? Because he left because he needed, you left and went hide in the bathroom. And he leaves to go take a walk to clear his mind. And now all of a sudden you want an apology for that? Go sit down somewhere. You just want to be right, even though your ass is wrong. She annoyed me. She annoys me. I don't even want to see her no more. Are they done? Are they over? I hope they over. I hope they done. Because I'm done and I'm over it. All right, y'all, Michael and Juliana. So they're in a better place now. We didn't even see Michael. Okay, not really. We kind of really saw Juliana and Sarah for the most part, but they're good and they're getting married in 10 days. Michael got Juliana a bike, so now she can get around because she doesn't have a license, so she can't drive a car, but she can ride her bike, and now she feels much more freer and that she can get out and learn the city that she's living in and just feel a little bit more in control of her life and not always feeling like she has to depend on Michael for every little thing, including him to bring her places. So she takes her bike and rides over to Sarah's house to drop off something that the little girl Cece left at the house. And she stays and they have coffee. And I feel like Michael don't know how much he done messed up by living this close to his baby mama, because they're about to form a friendship and a relationship that might in some way put stress on Juliana and Michael's relationship. Because Sarah will talk to Juliana from the standpoint of being a woman who's been there and who can kind of get her ready for what Michael will throw at her. And that type of sisterhood can be detrimental to a relationship when a man is trying to control his wife. Like, he uses his money and all of that to try to control Juliana. And I think Sarah is going to be the one like, girl, don't go down that road. Don't make that mistake, because I made that mistake. And it just, made him think he had all the power in the relationship. I actually loved their dynamic together. They sat down and they talked, and Juliana tells her about her upbringing and what happened with her and how she was in a cult where she met her first husband. And the day that they got married, everything changed. And he wanted her to be in the house cleaning up all the time, not working, not going anywhere. That's not her personality. That's not the type of person that she is. So that relationship obviously didn't work out. She went and tried to, talk to the cult leader, but, he wasn't believing her about the things that were taking place in her marriage. So she didn't have any help. And then she had to just run away without getting a divorce. And she was modeling before she met him, but it kind of didn't work out. And she was very poor, had to come back home, got in a cult, married him, went through what they went through, left him, went to go model again, and then ended up coming back to sign those divorce papers and make sure that that was done with and over with, because she really didn't want to go back to that. So I think there's some trauma from that relationship that makes her ultra on guard when it comes to Michael, and if he's trying to do the same thing to her as her first husband did. Okay. And so once Sarah heard her story and understood Juliana more as a woman, there was a respect that happened in that moment. Like, she was crying. The moment was emotional. It was everything, because it made Sarah look at her as a woman and not just as some little girl that my ex-husband and picked up the toy around with. Because she was like, I know at first I said I didn't want you to mother my kids, but talking to you, you have such good work ethic. You're such a good person. It was basically saying, if you had to mother my kids, I would not be upset. And she said she was happy that he chose Juliana because Juliana loves her kids. Juliana is such a good person, a hard worker. She's not a gimme girl the way Sarah expected her to be. Juliana, to me, it's extremely hard not to like Juliana. I had to go follow her on Instagram. I don't think I follow anybody from this cast. I follow Juliana. I like her. And she's beautiful and she's so sweet. And so I was like, child, I'll follow you. I'm sure you're going to be giving me some little cute modeling poses that I could use on my Instagram. Okay, look, I'm going to follow you, girl. So then they go and get the wedding dress, go and try on Juliana's wedding dress. And Juliana gets very emotional about it. Very beautiful dress, gorgeous dress. Sarah was happy to be there with her. And, it's just more conversations about Michael and, how not to give him her paycheck, because that's what Sarah used to do, just hand off her paycheck to him. Don't do that, because then it, has this imbalance in power in the relationship. Don't do that. Keep your autonomy, just giving her some guidelines to live by when dealing with this man who she's already been with and left, So I really just like the dynamic. I like the conversation. And Juliana was crying in a wedding dress and Sarah was like, oh, don't cry. And, just being supportive and her having somebody there that can talk to her from a woman's point of view and give her the game. Like, I just was appreciative of this whole thing. And it reminded me why I liked Sarah at first. Because for a minute there, I didn't know how I was feeling about Sarah. I was like, oh, here we go with the jealous ex situation. But oh no, okay, Sarah is not that. So I'm glad about that. This was a good episode for them. So Marcel, y'all, this episode, Marcel and Anna really just aggravated the absolute dog shit out of me. They cried the entire episode. He's leaving to go home and she can't believe that he didn't choose her, and so he cries and she cries, and then he's on the floor and he's crying, and then he's trying to walk away and he's crying, and then she's crying. I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe you're not picking me. I can't believe you're not picking us, and this is so hard for me, and I really love her, and but I have to go and be with my family, and I'm crying and she's crying and we're crying together. Say I cry, you cry. we cry together. When I cry, you cry, we cry together. Shout out to Lil Mo. Okay, because that was the first thing that came into my mind just then. She tells him she wants to leave and never contact her again. I say, y'all are being dramatic. Y'all are being hella dramatic. Okay, and he cries and then she cries and then he's on his knees outside with his luggage. He's crying. He goes to the airport and they keep running back and forth to each other and putting their heads together and crying. And she thought that he would change his mind at the last minute, so she showed up to the airport to surprise him and, you know, thought he was going to make a different decision than he made. But ultimately, he got on that plane and went home and everybody was still crying. Child, I'm over them. He says that if he could, he would have done things differently. He would have told his parents about the kids from Jump Street. And I'm like, so does that mean that you would have never come here? Does that mean that you would have never been in this relationship? Like, explain to me what that's supposed to mean. Child, whatever. I'm over them too. So Jasmine and Blake. I'm really over Jasmine and Blake because I don't like Jasmine and I think Blake is in La La Land. First of all, Blake is in a rap group and he owns a label. I don't know how. But his homeboys don't really like Jasmine, okay? First of all, Jasmine's face doesn't move. So when they go to this rap concert he's having, she's obviously unimpressed. She doesn't like rap music. It's not her favorite type of music. She doesn't really care. She brought her sister, so they just sit at a table. They don't really get involved in the music or in the crowd. They don't dance. They don't do anything. They just sit back there and judge. They don't like the club. It's hot. It's sweaty. There are too many people. Like, I get that, but at the same time, if you're there to support your man, if you're there to be with this man, you have to support his passion, and you are showing no interest whatsoever. She said in the confessional that she just doesn't care. She doesn't care. But she's tired of being in the house with his parents. She wants to go to bed with him every night. She wants to be with him. And I'm like, girl, you saying that, but I don't know if I believe that. They had this cute little scene in a car where they were joking and playing around with one another, and her face might have moved a millisecond or her face might have moved a millimeter or something like that, you know, in the moment, laughing. My face can barely move. I'm having a good time. But once they got to the club, she was not interested. The homeboys noticed it, okay? And the homegirls noticed it and said something to him about it. I don't think that she's very involved in your passion. And for them, being in the music, they feel like whoever they're with has to support their dream. And she does not look like she's going to be supportive. The friends are kind of aggravating to me because I feel like they're too involved in the relationship. Like, it's okay to notice things about somebody and be like, I don't really like that bitch. But you wait until he says something negative about her in order to give up that information. You don't just like freely tell him every chance y'all get to talk alone that you don't really like the bitch. And that's what his friends seem to be doing. So it's exhausting on all fronts, but he doesn't care. He feels like that's the way she is. He goes to the studio. His homeboys in the group are telling him, say, bro, I'm telling you, this girl is not the one. She seems to just be a user. She's not here for you. But Blake isn't trying to hear that. He does not care. He wants to be with her, and there is nothing that his friends can say that will change his mind right now. Now, I don't necessarily disagree with the friends at all. I don't disagree. I feel like there's a way to do things, and the friends are coming off too aggressive. They really, really are. Y'all are going to have to let Lil Blake get his heart broke. Y'all going to have to just let that happen. Because otherwise, y'all are just going to be talking to a brick wall. He's not going to let y'all affect how he feels. Like, period, point blank. They also point out how overwhelmed he's been since she's come into the picture. And it seems as if he's all over the place and not focused the way he once was, which is affecting their music. And, you know, they weren't half bad. I ain't gonna lie. When they were on stage, there was a moment where I was like, okay, well, you know, this sounds like a little something. But Blake just needs a clue. I don't know what's going on with Blake. He's confusing to me. I'm just exhausted. I don't know what's going on. Like, does he not see it? Does he not see that she doesn't care? Like, she's not really into him that much? Like, do you not see it? I feel like you see it and you're just ignoring it. But anyway, y'all, Tania and Sinjin. Tania is coming back from Costa Rica. Sinjin has one flower and a whole bunch of excitement and energy to get out on her puss later on. But they can't not fight. That's what they do, okay? Y'all, the thing that aggravates me about Tanya is she's flighty as hell. You're all over the place. You don't want to let somebody know that you've gotten in. You don't want to give him any type of stability as far as him feeling emotionally safe with you. You don't want to give anybody that. But then you want to get in the car and have an argument about the fact that he hasn't worked on getting a job yet, even though he can't get a job just yet. He hasn't been there long enough. You get to leave and go to Costa Rica and live your best life and leave your man living in a shed with your mama with no job, no friends, nothing going on. And then the first thing you want to do is complain about the fact that he's not that serious. Bitch, are you kidding me? You're the one. You're the one that doesn't seem to be that into him. You're the one that seems to look for a reason to run and then blame him for whatever he's not doing as if you don't already know his makeup. He already told you he's an 18-year-old boy living in a 30-year-old man's body, okay? He wants to have fun. If he doesn't want to work somewhere, he's not going to work somewhere. He grew up working in the mines and he lost a lot of friends. The work was very hard for very little money. That left a bad taste in his mouth as far as the workforce. It's different here in America. There are laws. You can't just be out here working people to death. And I think that he's going to have to figure that out for himself. But she doesn't like that there's pushback on getting a job. She feels like he should have been doing something all this time, because she felt like she was doing something other than being on an extended vacation while she learns about herbs that she probably already knew about. Girl, whatever. I just kind of feel like she's a hypocrite and you're judging him for exhibiting the same type of, personality traits that you exhibit. Somebody that cannot be relied on, okay? Somebody that is kind of all out for themselves and does things by the seat of their pants. Just because you plan to do things by the seat of your pants does not mean that you're any more responsible than he is. I think as a woman, she's more responsible, but I just see her being just as flighty within the confines of their relationship. So Tanya always being on his neck about something is exhausting. So he just kind of taps out. So now you've ruined y'all's hello to one another by arguing about shit that y'all really can't control right now, bitch. He can't work. And you personally obviously haven't even been working long enough to have a place to stay. Like you have nothing and you're upset at him that he has nothing. Child, Tanya works on my good and last nerve. Okay, my good and last nerve. But he says he knows that he's going to have to eventually get a job. He knows that. But he just starts ignoring her because she's just fucking exhausting. Like, oh, Lord, I can't stand her. And she thinks she's so hot because, she just keeps playing in that wet ass hair. Like, damn, bitch, can you dry your hair sometimes? Like, I'm tired of the wet hair, hairstyle. Every time you walk around, somebody's got on a wig or their real hair is just wet. Like, bitch, dry your hair. Dry your hair. Oh, Lord, work on that. Anyway, y'all, that was 90 Day Fiance. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love you guys. Follow me on social media on Twitter and on Instagram at BondyBlue. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.